This situation's getting worse, guys. We definitely have a problem at this point. And I think I even have some facial markings this time from this morning's wrestling session with the dog. So I'm a mess, but thank you. Big thank you to everyone for being here and again putting up with the lack of time spent editing these videos, simply because it's not my cup of tea right now. I really don't have time for it, but I'm glad that I could just turn on this camera, which happens to be a phone, just so you know, and just speak with you guys. And I'm glad that specifically this series right here was not supposed to be a series. It was just supposed to be a simple answer. Turned out this way because, again, a lot of you guys seem to be benefiting from this, and it was the right question, I think. And you know, sometimes I don't even see that coming. I thought it was a good question, but not to this degree. So we're on the intermediate phase, and again, the intermediate phase is one of those things where if you don't constantly play around with some of the details, some of the variables, you can just be stuck there. And a lot of the really jacked guys at your gym, they're intermediates. Okay, they're intermediates because they've never bothered to fix a lot of the details in their programming. So again, right now it really matters that you have a sound nutritional plan, that your weight training makes sense, and again that you're consistent with these things. And you do this long enough, eventually you will make it out of there, and you will be rewarded. It just takes a little bit longer right now. So gains definitely do slow down, but there's plenty of progress to be made if you approach it the right way. So let's actually look at the split I put up yesterday, because we can totally work with that for given this situation, the advanced intermediate. It's like an oxymoron, but whatever. All right, so let's see. Okay, this is about as clear as it's going to get with the sun shining in the room. However, you guys have seen this, so it's basically the exact same split. And again, this, even for a higher level intermediate, still be good. And even without this here, it's still a very solid split. However, we can do a few things over time to make this routine here a bit more timeless. And little things like adding more volume, maybe turning these last sets into 5-set movements, adding an assistance movement on the heavy days, same here, adding a few sets at the end of the workout, and maybe kind of just pushing the envelope if you end up using an extra day in your split, and seeing how much you can get away with, how much overreaching you can do, while still, at some point being able to recover and cash in your investment in terms of strength and physique development. So again, just adding a little bit here and there over the course of a week really adds up. Okay, and here we go. And I think this one's just as important, but again, I wanted to touch up on volume first, because I think that's the first mistake people do when it comes to adding volume. They don't just add some, they add way more than they need to. But some loading schemes when it comes to the big movements like your squat, deadlift, and bench press. And that's why I made that video on borrowing from powerlifters, because they've been doing it for a long time. So there's a lot of schemes that you can apply when it comes to these big movements that will really help you progress on these for a very long time. And again, there's people out there who participate in a sport where basically, that's all they're interested in. So look at what they're doing, and I'm sure you can grab an idea or two. Have seasons, and what I mean by have seasons is, I'll do this all the time. I'm always going to be working on my, I'm always going to include heavy work and then my lighter, more volume-based work when it comes to creating my own routines. But there's specific times during the year where I'm kind of, I'm leaning a little bit more on this side or a little bit more on the volume side. It depends. So I really suggest that, every once in a while you kind of maybe go on a more voluminous phase, and then eventually, once you kind of start slowing down in terms of the rate of progression, then maybe add some strength-based routines. So in my case, as an advanced bodybuilder, and unfortunately this is what advanced looks like on me, I'll go into phases where I'm solely working on getting stronger for the most part, and certainly some accessory movements here and there. But getting stronger is my main objective. And for instance, right now I have not grinded any heavy sets in the 3 to 2 rep range in a very long time, at least not on a consistent basis. So again, have seasons, definitely include some light stuff, some heavy stuff all year round, but kind of favorite one over the other here and there. I think that is definitely something that for my advanced intermediates I would really recommend. And if you're an advanced bodybuilder, you really need to do that. So let's see, what's the last one? Oh, more frequent deloads. So I think if you're you're a someone who's just starting in the intermediate phase, deloading every 8, sometimes every 10 weeks, I think is okay. But for someone like this, I'd say anywhere from 5 to 6, some cases every 4 weeks would be a perfect place to I think that's a perfect pace for you guys. And while at first it might seem like it's kind of messing with my momentum here, especially if you're not used to deloading that frequently, I think that over time you're going to see that your gains will be a lot more predictable and a lot more you'll be sneaking a bit more progress than you even thought you could at this point. And I think a lot of it has to do with, again, just realizing that you can really pound the crap out of your body in a 4-week period. So every 4, 5, 6 weeks, have a deload, and take 1 step back so that you can take 2 forward. But that is it, guys. Again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the awesome questions we've been receiving lately. And I think we actually, one of the questions has to do with loading schemes. So I think that's going to be an awesome one, because we kind of touched upon how important that really becomes here. So stay tuned for that one. Again, thank you very much. I'm really glad that this question was asked, simply because I don't think I would have cooked this up on my own. So thank you guys.